Hello, everyone.
It's Sunday.
Cooking class day.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out technical things.
As we do.
Yeah. So we're going to let a couple people join, perhaps.
But what are we going to make?
Ooh, we're making our spinach and artichoke, but actually today it's going to be kale and artichoke.
We didn't want to scare you. We put spinach, but it's kale.
Lasagna. So it's going to be kind of like spinach and artichoke dip, but
A lasagna.
a lasagna form. And then we're going to do our raw donut holes.
Raw cinnamon donut holes.
Oh,
They're very cinnamony.
don't forget about the cinnamon.
Mm-mm.
So, do you want to get started? Take it away?
Well, I want to talk about what we've been up to this week.
Yeah, please do.
Do you want to start with the more fun, like what we did for fun this week?
We went on a hike.
Alright.
Yeah, we went to the Great Smoky Mountains because things are starting to open up again, and that's exciting. Yeah, it was a beautiful walk. We got a little sunburnt. You can't see it anymore, but yeah, it's been cold, so we didn't wear sunscreen like we should have, and now we learned our lesson. Yeah.
So if you want to share with us what you've been up to this week, pop it in the comments. But the other thing we've been up to this week for our business, for Harmonize, is we are launching a new program. So it's a 10-day body reset, and we have 2 tracks. So you can either go for the athletes if you're a person that is exercising on the regular and want to maintain that, and we have one for people who are in some kind of healing journey. So that's people like me who might have like chronic pain, fibromyalgia, things like that. If you're doing any other kind of healing work at all, body work with a therapist, if you normally do acupuncture, massage, things like that, that is the track you want to take. So it's a 10-day program. You get a personal coaching call with us to figure out how to fit the program into your life. You get 5 videos that we're going to send you with some extra content to help you learn about what you're doing and why. A group, a private group on Facebook with everyone else who's going through the program.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a rolling basis, so you can start whenever it makes sense for you, and then you'll get 10 days worth of superfoods. So that is the new thing we're doing. So if that sounds cool with you, you can shoot us a DM. If you know us personally, send us a text, whatever, and we can talk about it. So let's get to cooking.
Let's get to cooking.
All right, let me take this and flip it. So today we're trying to make it a little less intense. We didn't want a 50-minute video, so we got a lot of stuff laid out for you with the lasagna land. So Sarah, take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to go over the different sauces first and how we made them. We made them first so you didn't have to listen to the annoying blender or food processor. Since this is going to be a white lasagna, I went ahead and made white garlic sauce.
Yeah, she did.
So usually with our spinach and artichoke dip, we use cashews as the base. So I did cashew base for this, but I wanted to add more liquid to make it saucier. And for the lasagna noodles, you definitely want more sauce, so that way those noodles cook and they absorb all that moisture. So this was a cup of cashews. So a cup of raw cashews. I boiled them for about 15 minutes, just covered the cashews with water and boiled them. That's so the nuts get really soft, kind of helps to break down the cashews as well, and creates a creamier consistency for your sauce. So organic, make sure you read the ingredients, and it's just organic cashews, no canola oil added or anything like that. So, perfect. So next, I put in the water to this. So I boiled them, I drained them, I rinsed them with cold water so I could put them into the blender, and then I added the cashews into the blender, topped it with 2 cups of filtered water, and then I did 3 tablespoons of organic flour. That's just to thicken a little bit more. This is brown rice flour. You can use any alternative, like gluten-free organic all-purpose flour too. And then I did a clove of garlic, so just one clove, because I did garlic in the pesto too, so I didn't want it to be like crazy garlic.
Just in case a vampire comes by and we want a socially distant hangout.
Yeah.
Not too much garlic.
Not too much garlic. And then I did about a teaspoon of each garlic granules and onion granules. And then I did a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. So we like to use Himalayan salt. If you watched our other videos before, then this is a repeat. But if you haven't, it's because sea salt has toxins. Our oceans have toxins in it. So the Himalayan salt has more minerals and less toxins in it as well. So that's the route we go. And I just blended it up probably about 5 minutes in total, and to get that nice creamy consistency that you did see. So now I'm going to move over to the pesto. So we actually got some really beautiful basil from Mother Earth Foods this week, and so we definitely wanted to use those. But we did have some carrot tops that we wanted to use as well. So the recipe that we're going to post today will just include the basil, but if you want to use carrot tops, if you have those extra from any carrots that you've had throughout the week or anything, it makes a delicious pesto too. So if you're interested in the carrot top pesto, that's on our Instagram. You'll see it's my hand holding like a bunch of carrot tops. So I did about 2 cups of pressed basil and carrot tops, and then I did 2 cloves of organic garlic and a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. This is actually not the nutritional yeast that we use, because this is fortified with like synthetic like B12 and supplements. So we did use this at one time, but this is actually filled with unfortified nutritional yeast, which is really important.
You can tell the difference. Show them the bottom, like flip, like the color. If you buy the fortified kind, it's like a bright yellow, and unfortified usually isn't have any flavor, color things added to it, so it's whiter color. Yeah,
but it still has that really nutty, delicious flavor that gives you that plant-based cheese flavor. Then I did a 1/2 cup of pepitas. You can also use walnuts or pine nuts. So if that's what you have in your kitchen, you can use that as well. It's hard to find organic pine nuts. I haven't really come across them, but walnuts would be a good alternative too. So I did a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, and then I did pepper to taste. So I really just did maybe like 5 cracks of the black pepper, and 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. So we use avocado oil in this house, avocado and coconut oil. Just because we're cooking and high heat, we want to make sure that we're using good oils that won't turn into free radicals when we're cooking. So yeah, did I get everything?
Yeah, I think it's time to make a lasagna.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Show them the noodles that we use.
So these are some awesome lasagna noodles that we found. It's a green lentil lasagna. The consistency is so delicious, and it holds up really, really well.
And they are oven ready. It says that on the box. So if you're going to do this recipe, as we showed you, you want to get those oven ready noodles. But if you check and your noodles don't say that, it's fine. You can just boil them and cook them like you would. But Sarah's going to put a thin layer of sauce down first. This is, I don't know if my mom's watching yet, but this is something my mom taught me when she taught me how to make a regular lasagna, is that you always want to put a thin layer of sauce down on the bottom of your pan. So this would be the same if you wanted to do a red sauce. And you could totally do like the same fillings. You could do the spinach or kale and artichokes with red sauce also if you didn't have the ingredients on hand to make a white sauce.
So, start layering these. So now I'm going to do a little bit more of the white sauce. And kind of spread that around.
So while she's doing that, we did get artichokes are really hard to find organic, like literally impossible. But non-GMO, we love artichokes enough to risk it, and we always look for that non-GMO. You can see we actually bought the whole ones, so when Sarah puts this on the lasagna, she's going to break it up into smaller pieces so that we can get them more consistently across the dish.
So I'm just going to kind of crumble apart the pesto and have it in like little chunks for the lasagna. Getting a little messy over here.
Don't worry, guys. She washed her hands first. I watched her. It's one of the important steps.
All right.
And so this pesto recipe we gave you is going to make more pesto than you need for the lasagna, but I don't think that's a bad thing to have extra pesto in your life.
No.
Yeah. How long would you say that pesto is going to keep in the fridge?
I would say give it about like a week and a half. You'll start, just make sure you smell it. If you want to split the recipe in half, you can store half of it in your freezer, and that way you make sure you go through all of it.
So Sarah's now just doing some frozen chopped kale for this layer. It's just what we had on hand, but you can use fresh also, so that's totally an option. If you use fresh, you probably want to use more because it's going to break down a lot when you cook it. So we just use the frozen chopped, and we just put it right on there out of the freezer. You don't have to really defrost it or anything. So,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, these break apart really beautifully. They're a really nice flavor.
And it looks freaking gorgeous. Yeah, I was just going to say, pretty much this is the same base as our spinach artichoke dip. You just leave it thicker, right? The cashew cream.
Exactly.
And then you mix it with the spinach and the artichoke, and then just bake it in the oven.
Yep.
So,
if you don't... Right.
Time for the noodles.
Yep. Another layer. You can also, if you don't, like if you can't find these noodles anywhere, you can totally do like zucchini. Just peel it lengthwise and make zucchini noodles. That's a good alternative for this recipe.
And if any of our current cleanse people are watching this, once you get off of the 10 days of the flex foods and you move into your lifestyle, those zucchini noodles, you can do them on the regular plan too, but zucchini noodles are really a lifesaver to mix with all sorts of delicious sauces. Looking good, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm just going to layer this again. And if you guys have any questions about how we did the pesto or anything, if you want more clarity, where we do our shopping or anything like that, please leave the comments and Carrie will ask them.
I also want to point out, this one seems maybe a little complicated because we made these sauces, but you don't have to make your life harder. You can buy store-bought pesto. Store-bought vegan pesto does exist. You just have to read the labels. So if you want to save yourself some steps. But I really do like making recipes like this because, this pesto, we took the time and effort to make it today, but we are going to use it throughout the week. We actually have some beautiful tomatoes that we're going to use it on later this week. So
yeah, pesto is just like a good snack to have around too. Put it on some rice cake or crackers, good healthy fats, nice phytonutrients.
And I should note too, with the artichokes, we did drain the can and rinse them through before we put them into that bowl. So the extra moisture that's coming out, I squeezed them a little bit when they came out of the colander, but because these are like the oven-ready noodles, a little extra moisture is good for them to help it cook properly.
Okay, so that's the last layer, and we said we were just going to do pesto on the top of that one?
Yeah, and sauce.
Yeah, so I'm just going to layer the artichoke thick on this. Thank Thank you.
The artichoke for me is the star of the show. So.
Thanks a lot. My pesto isn't the star of the show.
Oh, I thought you meant you. I mean, technically you're the star of the show. I'm just over here eating extra pieces of artichoke off my fingers. Because I'm a professional.
Mm-hmm. All right. Line that kale.
This is actually a great way to eat kale if you don't think you like kale, because it's going to really kind of like the flavor's going to get really absorbed by all the other flavors we have going on in here.
Mm-hmm. Get that vitamin K.
Didn't you mean kale, yeah?
Yes. All right. So now I'm just going to pour the rest of this on there.
Girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking really, really beautiful.
My hands are so messy. Getting messy in the kitchen.
Isn't that the fun part?
It's my favorite thing to do.
So you're singing for the world now.
Yeah, you know. My beautiful voice.
That's like an angel.
Alright.
Alright. So just a sprinkle of pesto on the top of this bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love if anyone wants to share in the comments if they've ever made a lasagna like this before, like a white lasagna, if there's something else you put in it, or anything else you think would be delicious with it. I think when we eat it tonight, we're going to serve it with a green salad with some of those tomatoes sliced.
I think I'm going to put a couple olives on top of mine,
She is.
too.
She's going to Kalamata it.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing we didn't mention about these noodles, since I have the box right here, because it's made from green lentils, if I look at the servings, so a quarter of the noodles is 200 calories, and it has 11 grams of protein, and it's lower carb than a traditional noodle too. So although it might seem like, I think our society, we've been kind of programmed to think like fat is bad, but having like the cashews and the pumpkin seeds in this dish with a high protein noodle is really like a powerful meal to refuel you, and it's a good meal for the evening. You want to eat like more fats and proteins in the evening than you want to eat carbs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mushrooms would be really good in this too.
Would they?
They would be really good. Don't listen to Carrie. She doesn't really like mushrooms, but I love them. I just went ahead and sprinkled some Italian seasoning on the top, just to give it a little extra zest. So we preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes. We won't make you stay on for that long, but we will post a picture of the final outcome in the comments below this video.
So the last thing, we always like to have a savory and a sweet. So we're gonna make our raw cinnamon donuts for you. We've got a comment from my mama. Never made a white lasagna. If you use frozen spinach, do you thaw and drain and squeeze out the water first? No, we are just throwing it in right out of the freezer, again, because of those not baked noodles. Like, we didn't pre-cook them.
So we want
some extra moisture.
Water.
Yeah, but that's a great question. And then your mom said yes, mushrooms.
Yeah.
But my girl Mary said she also doesn't like mushrooms. Mm-hmm. But I know if my mom's the deciding vote, she does like mushrooms, so
we win.
You win. Yeah.
Okay, so what we have next is our raw donut holes, and we know Mary's really excited about this recipe. And so in it, it's very simple. We just have dates, so we used 8 dates. Make sure that you pit them. We'll show it again. I know people who've already been with us, but there's a huge pit in it. It's very hard. It won't blend up, so just make sure you take it out. And we used 7 figs, so it's a fig and date donut hole.
And show them the top of the fig.
Oh yeah.
The fig has a little stem that you also, if you're eating them or if you're cooking them, you just want to pop that little stem off. You can feel it.
Yeah, you just tear it off. I think if you ended up with this in your blender or food processor, like it wouldn't be a huge deal like the date pit, but definitely not the best thing to chew on. And then we used, was it a cup of the
half a cup.
Half a cup of peanut butter. So peanut butter, dates, and figs. And
that's not it.
Well, we're going to roll it in cinnamon. Did you put cinnamon in it?
Yeah, there's cinnamon in it.
Gotcha.
Cinnamon in it.
Cinnamon in it. So 2 teaspoons?
I didn't measure.
In our recipe, I think it's 2 teaspoons, so it'll be posted on the comment below. We do a lot of a little bit of this, a little bit of that cooking, so breaking down our recipes has been quite the challenge.
And I want to always point out for the people that can't do peanut butter, that you can do almond butter, cashew butter, pumpkin butter, whatever other butter exists, butter. You could even do these with tahini and make like a sweet and savory, like it would be a little salty. Yeah. Maybe we're going to try that next time.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do, you can start rolling them, is we didn't have any on hand, but we've made these before for our cooking classes and with private clients, and you can roll them in whatever small topping. So coconut flakes, like the shredded, you can roll it in cinnamon, which is what Sarah's going to do, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, anything like that that's small. You could totally roll it. You could even like take coconut sugar and powder it up in your blender and roll them in a little coconut sugar. So that's the basic. I didn't really do a great job of zooming in on your technique, so.
Well, I wanted to show them this too. So this is all those ingredients processed down, so you get like a little crumble. And this is like a great raw snack for some midday boost in energy. It's got really good sugars in it, and then as well as that fat to give you a nice boost of energy. So it's really crumbly, but then once you kind of squeeze and pack it together,
it forms itself nicely.
Yes, it's very smooth.
Yeah. What other shapes could we make?
You could make whatever shape you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like you could do like
a log.
Oh. Don't do that at home, kids.
Don't get as excited.
Don't get as excited. You want to roll it nice and slow. Do like a little snake. No, that doesn't look like a snake. That looks like something else. Don't put me on the spot like this and make me create.
We've made them into like logs before. Because then if you roll them like in coconut or whatever, they don't look as much like turds.
Or they could. But
so this batch should yield you like roughly 12, depending on how many you roll up. We do keep them in the fridge just because of all that like natural fats from the peanut butter. You kind of like release it when you're blending it. But you can take them, like we'll take these on a hike with us. So that's a great snack for that. Or definitely like Sarah said, I wouldn't eat these after like a 4 p.m. hour because of the natural sugar that's in the dates. But again, it's like sugar that's super good for you because it has the extra fiber.
Yeah.
So do you want to show them what it looks like with the cinnamon on it? Look at that beaut.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we should not make them watch you roll all the rest of these. So let's flip her around and say thanks for coming to our cooking class today.
Yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed these different recipes. Let us know if you try them, take pictures, send it to us. If you have any questions about what we just did, you still have a moment or two to leave a comment below.
And just always, we like to remind you what we have going on besides our new program. You can just do like a simple cleanse without all the extra guidance. Just get the superfoods and do your thing. We do one-on-one coaching, so for if you want to get more into nutrition, but also like mindfulness, breath work, those kind of things. And then we have our meal plans still. We have 7 weeks worth of meal plans for you, so those are on our website. And I think that's what we have going on.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Thanks for joining, everyone.